stay home and read a book. That's right, a book. Oh, what's so funny about that?
Mom, can't I skip the patrol meeting tonight? I don't feel like going.
I thought Boy Scouts were always supposed to be prepared.
I am. I'm prepared to stay home.
Natalie, children, I'm afraid I've got some bad news for you. Hello, everybody. Hi, everybody. Say, I just left JR. I'm afraid you're in for a kind of a shock. Gang, we've been through a lot together. But I think that we've proved that that we can take it. And now, we've got to be really brave.
Is that you, Martin?
Yeah. Yes, Natalie. Hello, darling.
Richard, you... I wish I could get my hands on whoever invented the PTA. I must have addressed 1,000,000 envelopes today for the luncheon.
Oh, Lucifer. Oh, I'll never get it right. I'm not the type anyway. Hello, Uncle Martin.
Hello, Kath.
Dad, were you a Boy Scout when you were a boy?
Yeah, I sure was.
Gee, I didn't know they had them in those days.
Oh, yeah, we used to go out hunting for buffalo.
Well, then get yourself another date. Goodbye, Richard. Hi, Papa.
Hi, Pat. Problem with Richard?
There's always a problem with Richard. You know, life can be a drag. For me, too. I don't know why I got involved in this play.
Well, I'm sorry you're not all in a happier state of mind. I mean, I'm afraid I've got some very bad news for you.
What's wrong?
Well, I just left JR. I tried to talk him out of it, but you know how stubborn he can be. He said there's nobody can do it but me. Well, that's ridiculous.
What's ridiculous?
Oh, the whole thing. I mean, it's going to be hard enough on me, but it's going to be much harder on the rest of you. I told him that, but once he's got his mind made up, he just doesn't listen.
Martin, what are you talking about?
JR has put me in charge of our overseas bureau. It means we're going to have to live over there for a whole year.
Over where?
I didn't want to go, and I told him how hard it would be on the rest of you to drag yourselves away, but I just couldn't get through to him.
Papa, over where?
We're going to live in Paris.
Paris! Yippee! I'll get a pen.
I thought you'd all hate the idea.
Oh, I hate it. It's the most exciting thing that's ever happened to this family.
Oh, what do you know?
Meet Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square. But Kathy's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair! But they're cousins, identical cousins all the way. One pair of matching bookends, different as night and day. Where Kathy adores a minuet, the ballet russe, and crepe Suzette. Our Patty loves to rock and roll, a hot dog makes her lose control. What a wild duet, still they're cousins, identical cousins, and you find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
You're going to be able to get us packed and out of here in 2 weeks?
To go to Paris? Watch me.
I'm really amazed. I thought I knew you all so well. I told JR, look, I'm willing to make the sacrifice, but my family will never sit still for it. Natalie's got her clubs and civic affairs. The girls have their boyfriends and school activities, and Ross has his Boy Scouts.
Well, I can be civic in France. I can't wait to go to Dior's.
Now, take it easy. We're going to be over there for quite a while. Hey, There's that book I was looking for last week.
Dad, is there any room for my ham set?
Gee, I'm sorry, son. We're going to have to put it in storage.
But how do I keep in touch with everybody?
Send them postcards.
Mom, my sled, skis, and tennis rackets.
Go into storage.
Storage? I'll need them over there.
Anything you need, we'll rent. We're sending enough over there now to supply the Fifth Army. We have to put our foot down someplace. Oh, see, listen, where are my golf clubs?
Oh, I put them with the things that are going into storage.
Storage? That's a good idea.
All the suitcases are up, Aunt Natalie.
Oh, good. You and Patty can start packing.
I can't believe I'll be seeing Father again.
Oh, well, that's one of life's little ironies. He's leaving for India, but we'll manage to get him back to Paris for a visit.
Papa, what are the boys like over in Europe?
Like the boys anywhere else. Interested in girls.
That's good enough for me. Me in Paris.
Oh, and it's not just going to be Paris. I mean, all those European countries are only an hour or two apart by plane, so we'll be making trips everywhere.
I can't wait. Come on, Kath. The sooner we finish packing, the sooner we get out of here.
Boy, I can't believe it. I'm gonna be international.
Mrs. Lane? I'm Will Cameron with the Superior Real Estate Company. Mr. Lane said it'd be all right to show the house.
Oh, yes, of course.
This is Mrs. Atkinson, and this is the Atkinson astronaut.
Brooks. How do you do? How do you do? Won't you come in? Brooks. Brooks, put that away. My, it's charming. Charming. How many bedrooms do you have? 3. The girls share a room. My son has his room, and my husband and I have our room. You mustn't touch that, Brooks. You're renting this unfurnished, aren't you? Yes. That's fine. I have some good pieces I'd like to put in here. This furniture is sweet, but definitely wrong for this room. Don't you think? I hadn't noticed.
Where is the Hotel Splendid? Où est l'Hôtel Splendide?
Où est l'Hôtel Splendide?
Do you have any money? Avez-vous de l'argent?
Avez-vous d'argent?
I would like a cup of coffee with sugar and cream. Je voudrais une tasse de café avec du sucre et de la crème.
Je voudrais une tasse de café avec du sucre et de la crème. Boy, you have a terrible accent.
What do you expect? I'm not even there yet. Let's try it out. Pretend we're in a restaurant. I'll be a waitress. I'll be outside looking in the window.
We're all eating together.
I'm not hungry.
Bonjour, madame. Mademoiselle. Monsieur. Voulez-vous avoir une table? Sure. Oui. Bon. Ici, s'il vous plaît. Que voulez-vous en manger?
What'd she say?
She says, what do you want to eat?
Poison.
That's pronounced poisson.
I wondered.
Bonsoir, tout le monde. Well, speaking French okay now?
Hello, darling. Oh, this was a wonderful idea.
Well, I thought we might as well be able to greet them in their native tongue when we arrive. How's the packing going?
Well, it's funny. The more I do, the more there is to do. I'm beginning to wonder if we're going to be through on time.
Don't worry, we will be. All we have to do is follow this checklist.
I hope we're not disturbing you. I have some people here to see the house.
No, not at all.
These are the O'Briens, the Lane family.
How do you do?
I know the way. We'll just show ourselves around.
Fine.
Hi, Rich.
I looked for you after school. We all went over to the malt shop, but you'd vanished into thin air.
I'm sorry, Rich. I have a million things to do around here.
I thought maybe something had happened to you. I rushed over here as soon as I finished my malt.
Ouch.
What's the matter?
That's where I had my shot.
Remember the last time you were supposed to get a shot?
And Kathy got it by mistake, and I tried to keep her date with Ted and my date with you.
And we lost the dance contest because the judge thought Kathy was a better dancer.
Yeah. We've had a lot of laughs together.
Yeah.
What's the matter?
Nothing.
What's nothing?
Well, nothing is, I don't want you going out with those Europeans. You know what they're like.
No, I don't. That's why I'm going over there to find out.
Well, that's what I mean.
I'm teasing. I'll only be away a year.
That's almost 5% of our lives up to now. Anyway, once you've been to France, well, I'll look like nothing.
You are wrong, mon cher. You look like something. Patty will never forget.
Hey, cut it out.
Come to Patty. I will take you to the Casbah. Kiss me once again.
Stop it. I mean, it's all right to joke about it while you're here, but it won't be so funny once you're over there. My buddy's girlfriend went to Spain and...
Spain! España! Now for the brave bulls, the handsome caballero. Querida, has anyone ever told you you have the most beautiful eyes, like black olives?
My eyes are green.
You have the most beautiful eyes, like green olives.
Hey, what's the matter with you? You haven't even left yet, and you're acting like a nut. Come on, let's go eat.
Are you hungry, darling? I will fix for you an Hungarian omelet right away. As soon as I get this diamond bracelets off. They are so heavy I can't lift the frying pan. There, darling. That's better, darling. You will love my omelette. I use make eggs.
Did anybody ever tell you you're a kook? Patty,
Yes, Richard?
you'll come back to me, won't you?
Sure. I'll come back to you.
I don't care what country you're in. Remember, you're my girl.
Richard!
Hello. I'm from the telephone company. There's a phone to be disconnected.
I guess so.
The upstairs phone?
Oh, that's my phone.
Not anymore. It's disconnected as of today.
Disconnected? Took me 16 years to get that phone. Hello, Ross. Hi, Nicky. I just wanted to say goodbye. I was just coming over to say goodbye to you. Were you really? That's the sweetest thing I've ever heard of. In the middle of all this excitement about going to Paris and everything, you thought of me. Sure. I don't have much to do. Please don't fall in love with any of those French girls. I won't. They'll fall in love with you. You're a very attractive boy, you know. I know. Hi, Ross. Oh, hi, Billy. Well, I'll be running along. You two men probably have important things to discuss. Yeah. I'll see you, Nicky. I'll see you, Ross. Have a good time. Sure. Thanks. James. Yeah. James. When do you leave? Tomorrow night. The fellas in the Bear Patrol got together and chipped in to give you this. Oh, gee, thanks, Billy. It does everything but send out the Morse code. Oh, will you thank the guys for me? Sure. We'll miss you. I'll miss the guys. I know I haven't been to all the meetings lately, but I'll make up for it when I get back. We're starting a junior life-saving course next week. Oh, boy! I'll be in Paris. Lucky you. Well, so long, Ross. So long, Billy. Everything's out of the basement.
Good. Would you help me with this? I could use about 6 more hands.
Sure.
What are you going to do with all this stuff?
Well, I'm sending all the canned goods over to the church, and the perishables we're giving to Aunt Martha. Oh, will you fill this carton?
Mm-hmm. Got any mustard?
I said fill the carton.
Aunt Martha's trying to diet anyway.
Come in.
Hello, Mrs. Lane.
Hello.
Hi, Mr. Papadopoulos.
This is for you.
Well, I didn't order anything. We're leaving, you know.
We'll need another carton.
There's one in the living room.
I know you're leaving. That's why this is for you. It's
Bye.
a gift. Bye.
A going away present.
No, I come back soon present. I had a nice speech to go with the fruit, but I'm not much of a speaker, so you'll just have to take the fruit.
I don't know what to say.
Well, probably nobody told you, but the whole neighborhood is pretty unhappy about your going. It's the same that nice people have to leave.
We'll be back.
Oh, sure. But meantime, who's going to take charge of the TPA lunches and the Ladies Auxiliary Club? My daughter goes to Patty's school. I know what you and Mr. Lane do for the school. My wife's in the Ladies Auxiliary Club. She talks a lot about you. You see, we're not just losing a customer. We're losing a friend.
I'm going to cry in a minute.
Don't cry on the fruit. It'll spoil it. Goodbye, Miss Lane.
Goodbye, Mr. Papadopoulos, and thank you.
Hello. Oh. This is the kitchen.
Would you pass the salt, please? Now, I've arranged to have the first few days off so that I can show you around Paris. And there's a marvelous sightseeing boat called the Bateau Mouche that goes around the Seine. Could I have the mayonnaise, please? On the first day, I thought we'd have lunch at the Eiffel Tower. There's a wonderful restaurant there, before the top, you know. Well, how's that sound?
Great. That sneak Sue Ellen bought a new dress and invited Richard to a dance at her father's country club.
What's Sue Ellen's dress got to do with having lunch at the Eiffel Tower?
Nothing. I just knew this was going to happen.
I don't think you have to worry about Richard.
Who's worried about Richard? I'm worried about Sue Ellen.
Good evening, folks. Enjoy your dinner. We won't bother you.
Now, this is the dining room, and out here we have the terrace. I wonder if he'd like some mustard.
You were in a hurry to rent the house.
Say, there's nothing wrong, is there?
Of course not. What could be wrong?
I don't know.
Anybody seen the knife Billy gave me? Yes, that makes 8 times.
Martin, I wish you could have seen Mr. Papadopoulos. He's such a nice man. But you don't find him like that in Europe.
Natalie, he came from Europe.
I don't care if he did.
That's for me. Excuse me. Hello, Ted.
Hi, Kathy. Am I early?
No, we were just finishing dinner. Sit down.
Tomorrow's the big day, huh?
Yes. This will be our last night in the house.
Kathy, do you have to go?
What?
I mean, well, this is such a bad time and everything, with the play coming on.
Oh, well, you can get someone else for my part.
Well, I don't want to. The only reason I agreed to direct this play was because you were going to be in it.
The only reason I agreed to be in it was because you were going to direct it.
Well, what if you didn't go? Well, couldn't you stay with relatives?
I am staying with relatives.
Oh, I forgot.
See, you know, there's a plane that flies from France to England, and it carries your car and everything. You just land at a little English airport and drive right off to London.
Sue Ellen's dress is a strapless.
Try some more fruit. It's delicious.
Anybody seen the knife Billy gave me? That makes 9 times.
Well, Kathy, I was thinking that on our first free weekend, we could all drive up to Stratford. And maybe we could even go punting on the Thames. You know, in England, they don't punt with a football. They punt with boats.
Well, she could have at least waited till I was out of the country. My body's not even cold yet.
See, isn't anybody even interested in what we're going to be doing over there?
Of course, darling. Try a pear. Mr. Papadopoulos says it's...
I don't want to hear any more about Mr. Papadopoulos or Richard or that dress or the knife or any...
Congratulations, folks. You just rented your house to the McGurskys.
Are you all ready, dear?
Yeah.
Father should be here any minute. He wants to allow plenty of time to get to the airport. Where are Kathy and Ross?
They're coming. You know something, Mom? I don't like the idea of a bunch of strangers living here. I don't like the idea. I'm ready, Aunt Natalie. Has Ted called? The phone's disconnected. I forgot. Ted said I was the only one who could really play that part.
They'd better find someone else because in less than 2 hours, we're going to be on our way to Paris. You ready?
No. You won't hate me if I tell you something, will you?
Of course not.
You may think I'm chicken, but I don't want to go. Brother, you have a lot of company. I'll miss the life-saving course if I go.
There's no if about it. Now listen, all of you. This trip may have sounded more exciting in the beginning than it does now. I think if we told your father we didn't want to go, he'd have made other arrangements, but it's too late for that now. So, let's pull ourselves together.
Yippee! We're going to Paris.
That's better. Well, let's check and make sure all the windows are locked.
Natalie, children, I've got some bad news for you. Hello. Hello, everybody. Say, guess what happened? I just left JR, and, well, I'm afraid you're in for a kind of a shock. Oh, boy.
Is that you, Martin? We're all ready, aren't we, children?
Yeah. Can't wait to get on the plane.
Neither can I. Let's hurry. Yeah.
Well, I don't know how to tell you this.
Is anything wrong?
I'm afraid there is. I just left JR, and well, I tried to argue with him, but you know how he is once he gets his mind made up. Oh, boy, I hate to do this to you.
Do what, Martin?
Well, JR is absolutely panicky about the idea of my going away.
Papa, what are you trying to say?
All I can do is ask you to forgive me. We're not going to Paris.
Sure, Rich. I love Amy's party. Why don't you pick me up at about 8 o'clock? Oh, Lucifer, the sweetness of dawn is in your lips. The waning moon is in your eyes. I was born for this part.
Were you, darling?
Hey, I gotta go. Where are you rushing off to? The scout meeting. I don't want to be late. I'm the new patrol leader.
Hello, family.
Hello, darling.
Hi, Dad. Hello, Uncle Martin.
More envelopes?
For next week's luncheon. Isn't it lovely? It's hard to explain, but suddenly all of us appreciate everything more.
Well, I gotta go now, Richard. Papa's home. Right. Bye. Papa, you're the greatest.
Isn't it marvelous? Suddenly I'm a hero. And you know what I did? I didn't take my family to Europe.
Here's Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square. But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair, but they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find
They laugh alike.
they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins.
Miss Lane, it had better. I'm tired of Mrs. Davis winning every year. It's giving me an inferiority complex.
She'll never be able to beat this cake.
I hope you're right. Oh, dear, I'm late for the hairdresser. You can leave as soon as you've finished, Mrs. Williams.
I just have the girls' room to do. Looks like they played the Army-Navy game up there.
See you Friday.
Boy, that new math teacher is a real wuzza-wuzza. What's a wuzza-wuzza? Our new math teacher. Hey, Cuckoo! Beauty. It's the best cake Mom ever baked. Perhaps she wants to save it for dinner. There's plenty. Here, live a little. It's wonderful. I told you. Let's cut. You want to go down for soda? No, thank you, Patty. I have some letters to write. Hi, Mama.
I didn't know you were home. Do me a favor, will you?
Sure.
I have an appointment at the hairdresser, and I'm late. There's a banana sponge cake in the kitchen. Take it over to the church bazaar for me, will you? It has to be entered for 6 o'clock. I'll see you there later. Bye.
Meet Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square. But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair, but they're cousins, identical cousins all the way. One pair of matching bookends, different as night and day. Where Kathy adores a minuet, the ballet russe, and crepe Suzette. Our Patty loves to rock and roll, a hot dog makes her lose control. What a wild duet, still they're cousins, identical cousins, and you find
They laugh alike.
they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
No. What do you think you're doing?
In my state of shock, do I know? It'll kill Mom if her cake doesn't win the prize. How could I forget that tonight was the annual church bazaar?
You saw food and everything else went out of your head?
Mrs. Davis has won the cake baking contest every year for the past 5 years. Mom swore she was going to beat her this year. Oh. I wonder if you can enter half a cake.
You're home. You better take that cake. Right. What happened?
Mice?
How could you do this to your own mother?
I thought it was just a cake. I didn't know it was the cake.
She's been waiting all year for that contest. That's her favorite recipe.
Would you happen to know the recipe?
Well, I watched her make it, but...
Mrs. Williams, how would you like to bake a cake?
Oh, no. That wouldn't be honest.
Oh, why not? It'd be baked in the Lane oven.
I couldn't do it.
Please, Mrs. Williams, you know how much this means to my mother.
I shouldn't do it.
But you will? Oh.
You get upstairs and clean your room. There. That should win first prize. I'm leaving now. Good luck.
okay? But don't touch that. Why not? It's great. We're slashed. What are you complaining about? We're loaded with cake.
Do you know what you just did, you coolie? You ruined your mother.
What are you talking about?
You just ate Mom's entry in the church bazaar.
Patty.
All right, one of her entries.
Gee, I'm sorry. How was I supposed to know?
Oh, it takes a pretty stupid person not to know an ordinary cake from a prize cake. Now what do we do?
Perhaps we could get Mrs. Williams to come back to
Scratch it. She works a one-day week.
What time is it? 4 o'clock.
Okay, we have 2 hours.
For what?
To bake a cake.
I've never baked a cake.
Neither have I. That's where we have the big advantage. Originality. What can we lose?
The contest.
Is there a notebook around here?
Right in front of you.
There you go.
There must be dozens of cakes. Look under prize winners.
Orange raisin cake. Fruit cake.
How about a fruit cake?
Mom baked a banana sponge cake with chocolate in it. Don't you think she'd be a little suspicious if it turned into a fruit cake? Tutti frutti cake. Spice cake. Here we are. Banana sponge cake. Kathy, you give the directions, and we'll bake the cake.
Right. We need 2 9-inch layer pans. Melt 4 ounces chocolate. I'll get the chocolate and the milk.
I'll get all the other things.
Take a cup of milk. A cup of flour. A teaspoon of salt. Separate eggs.
Okay. You're a giant.
Separate the white from the yolk.
Why? You eat it all at the same time, don't you? Come on. Get.
I smell something burning. Add the chocolate to the milk and the flour.
Smells pretty good. I think it's beginning to be a cake.
2 cups of sugar.
2 cups of sugar.
What's a tisp of vanilla? A tisp is a teaspoon. Why don't they say so? 4 egg whites.
Whites are already in. I better add more eggs.
Beat until fluffy, but not dry.
Okay. I'll get it. You keep going.
Hi, Mrs. Davis.
Hello, Patty. Is your mother at home?
No, she's at the hairdresser.
Really? Well, I thought she'd be baking her cake for the bazaar.
She already baked it.
Well, I just dropped by to show her mine and to take a peek at hers.
I don't think she'd want anybody to see her cake right now.
Oh, is she entering something special this year?
Yeah.
It's kind of a dark horse.
Oh, I'm afraid mine is just the usual. Well, I wish her luck. I know how much winning means to her. She seems so disappointed that I win every year, poor dear. We even made a little bet on it this year.
A bet?
Yes. If my cake wins, your mother and father take us to dinner in the theater. And if your mother's cake wins, we take them to dinner in the theater. Well, you'll tell her I dropped by to wish her luck, won't you?
I will.
Yeah. Well, I'll see you at the bazaar.
We need a bigger cake.
Why?
Because Mrs. Davis was just here and she's entering a giant. This is going to look like a pygmy. Okay. A lot more flour. Milk. Give me some more eggs. Well,
think we've got all the ingredients in.
And then some.
Maybe a few raisins would make it taste better.
What do you think? I don't think anything could hurt that. I better get the raisins. Chocolate chips are always good. What about a few nuts? Sure, let's live a little.
Nuts, raisins, chocolate chips.
I forgot the banana. I think it's supposed to be sliced.
Oh. They'll never know the difference. I guess we put it in the oven.
You didn't mix it.
Oh, yeah.
It's working.
We've done it! Do we have to eat it?
If I'd have known baking a cake was this easy, I'd have done it before this.
Ross, you go check on the oven. See what the temperature is. 325.
Perfect. The batter should be ready. Race to the dark.
Our cake just went into orbit.
Okay, in the oven. You know something? This is the lickiest looking cake Mom's ever made.
How long do we have to wait?
Bake 25 minutes. Tell you what, while it's baking, why don't we run and get dressed so we can rush right over to the bazaar? Right. We wouldn't want to keep them waiting for this. Let's cut. I'll get it. Hi, Richie.
Have you looked in the mirror? What have you been doing?
Just baking a cake.
You?
What's the matter with that?
I don't know. I haven't tasted the cake yet.
And you won't. It's going to be entered in the competition at the bazaar.
You're entering a cake in a competition?
Well, it's really my mother's cake. We're entering it in her name.
Who's we're?
Well, Kathy, Ross, and I.
The three of you baked it?
Yeah, it was kind of a community effort.
Brother, does your mother know you're bringing all this joy into her life?
No, and she mustn't find out.
She won't find out from me.
I knew I could count on you.
And you know why she won't find out from me?
Sure, because you're a loyal, trustworthy friend.
Wrong, because I'm chicken. I'm not going to that bazaar.
But you promised to take me.
Patty, you're putting an entry into a contest illegally. I'm not going to become an accessory after the fact. I'll write to you. Bye.
Who was it?
Nobody.
Men. Richard?
Yeah, the cowardly lion.
Isn't he taking you to the bazaar?
No.
He's afraid if he's seen with me, the FBI might crack down on him. You think he's right? About the FBI?
No, about what we're doing.
I mean, is it wrong?
Yes. But at least it's for the right reason.
You know something, cousin? Sometimes you're a real comfort to me. It's mutual.
Let's get rolling. I want to see what that cake looks like. 1 minute to go.
It is! Hey, do something!
I'll bet it's the biggest cake they get.
Yeah. Must have put put in too much of something. Maybe we could cut it in half and enter it twice. It won't look so bad once we get the icing on. I forgot all about the icing. All right. Ross, you better get some aprons. Icings. How does this sound? Boiled white icing with cocoa. Terrible. It's gonna taste great. 4 tablespoons cocoa, 2 cups sugar, 1 cup water. Ross, you get the cocoa and the water. I hope it doesn't explode. They have a booby price. Let's cut it in half. No, it isn't. Don't you know the Lane motto? Never naive, gay up, yay. What does that mean? Never give up in Pig Latin. I need a banana sponge cake in a hurry.
Oh, what kind of banana sponge cake would you like?
Do you have anything good enough to win a prize?
Oh, well, all of our cakes are good enough to win prizes. How big did you want it?
Oh, bigger than Mrs. Davis's.
What?
Oh, about this big.
Hmm.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That's $4.75.
Oh, don't put it in that. I brought my own box.
Anybody home?
Hello, Uncle Marty.
Oh, hello, Kathy. I thought you'd be at the bazaar.
We got held up a little.
Ah, well, where's your Aunt Natalie?
She's at the hairdresser.
And Patty?
I have no idea where Patty is. She raced out and said she'd see me at the bazaar.
Well, I'm hungry. Let's go see what's in the kitchen.
No.
I'm not hungry?
I mean, why don't I fix you something?
Well, that's nice of you, Kat, but all I want is some milk and cookies.
Oh, I get it.
No, don't bother.
Oh, it's no bother. Really, it isn't, Uncle Martin.
Kathy, are you feeling all right?
Yes, fine.
Take the Army engineers to clean up this. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, yourself.
How was your day at the office?
Fine. How was your day at home?
Okay. You know how it is.
No. How is it?
You tell him, Kath.
Tell me what?
It's nothing, really.
Kath, if you have a problem, I think maybe you'd better tell me. Now, do you?
Well, yes and no.
Tell me about the yes part.
I don't know if I should. But I guess I'd better. You see, it's like this.
Do you have a banana sponge cake?
Certainly. How big a cake did you want?
Bigger than Mrs. Davis's.
Anybody home?
We'd like to enter this in the contest.
Fine. Here's a number for it.
Thank you. Mrs. Lane baked it.
What is it?
It's a cake.
Oh.
I'd like to enter a cake.
All right.
I'd like to enter it under the name of Natalie Lane.
Here's your number.
Thank you.
Is there still time to enter a cake?
Yes.
Oh. It's for Natalie Lane.
She's been busy, hasn't she?
Yeah.
Oh, darling, I've been looking all over for you.
Oh, have you? Well, I've been looking all over for you, too.
I think we'd better get started.
Step right up, ladies and gentlemen. The cake contest is about to begin.
Hi, Mom.
Oh, Patty, did you get my cake here all right?
To tell you the truth, Mom.
To tell you the truth, Natalie, you don't have a thing to worry about. You're gonna win.
Patty! Patty!
Richard, you came.
Yeah, I decided you might need me.
You're all heart.
Have they caught up with you yet?
Of course, now. Everything's going fine. We haven't a thing to worry about. Come on.
Hello, Martin. Natalie, have you decided where you're taking us to eat tomorrow night?
Why don't we wait until the judge picks the winner, Mrs. Davis?
Oh, we're very fortunate this year in the selection of our judge. A really great expert has agreed to serve, Mr. Hubert Brown.
Yes. Shall we begin?
Mom, let's get out of here.
That's a marvelous idea. I'll take us all out for a Chinese dinner.
They haven't even picked the winner yet.
No, but they picked the loser.
Interesting. A little lumpy. Better luck next time. My. Oh, here's a pretty one. And it retails for $4.75. $6 1/4. Our special of the week. Oh, look at these masterpieces.
One of those is mine.
We've come down to the experts.
I think one of them's mine.
No, it isn't, Mom. I faked out on you.
The texture is perfect. Excellent, excellent.
Thank you.
The texture is perfect, and the flavor is marvelous. This is the winner. Who has number 8?
I do.
Where did you buy it?
I baked it. When I got home, I found my kitchen was a disaster area, and then Mr. Brown was nice enough to call and tell me about the unusual run on banana sponge cake.
Oh, speech!
I never could have done it without the help of my family.
Is that a beauty? And I baked it with my own little hands. With a little help from your mother.
Oh, I contributed a little know-how.
Come on, the meeting's gonna start in a few minutes. Gee, sis, I sure appreciate your baking this for the Scouts party. Boy Scouts have to eat, too. I hope they enjoy it. They will. We'll all help you.
Where is everybody? Anybody home?
Here's Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square.
But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair, but they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two.
They're not necking. I checked.
I didn't know Richard got up this early. Must be a crisis afoot.
With Richard, everything is a crisis.
There's one thing I love about Richard. He's temporary. It's like having a toothache. Such a lovely feeling when it's gone.
Hi,
Good morning, dear.
Sorry. It was important. Guess what Richard wanted to tell me?
He's decided to run for mayor.
Better than that.
He's decided to run for governor?
He's decided to give me his school ring.
And you said no.
I said yes.
Well, then I say no.
Momo,
Momo says no.
why can't I wear his ring?
Because you're too young to get engaged.
A ring doesn't mean we're engaged. It just means we're going steady.
All right, you're too young to go steady.
I won't wear it on my finger. I'll wear it around my neck, like a yoke. It's no yoke, I'll say. Do you realize I'm the only girl in my whole entire class who isn't wearing a boy's ring?
Look at it this way. They're all out of step but you. Your cousin Kathy isn't wearing anybody's ring.
Nobody's asked me.
Kathy, do you think Patty should wear Richard's ring?
I don't see what harm it would do, Aunt Natalie. They couldn't be together any more than they are now anyway. That's right. It doesn't change anything. It just means I've acquired a status symbol.
Richard, a status symbol?
To me, he's a status symbol. What do you say? Please.
Well, I guess if it wouldn't change anything, well, what do you think?
Well, if it isn't going to make any difference, I guess there's no harm in it.
Thanks. You're the most understanding parents in the world. Isn't it a beauty?
Meet Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square.
But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair, but they're cousins, identical cousins all the way. One pair of matching bookends, different as night and day.
Where Kathy adores a minuet, the ballet russe, and crepe Suzette.
Our Patty loves to rock and roll, a hot dog makes her lose control. What a wild duet, still they're cousins, identical cousins, and you find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
Hello? Burglars? Anybody home?
I'm here. Hi, Mr. Lane.
Heidi, hi, Richard.
You want some popcorn?
You haven't seen Mrs. Lane, have you?
She's in the kitchen making dinner. We're having a surprise.
We're having a surprise?
Yeah, I'm having dinner here.
Oh, well, that's nice.
Now that Patty's wearing my ring, there's really not much reason for me to leave. I mean, all I have at home are my parents.
Well, you mustn't neglect them, Richard. Honor thy father and thy mother.
I do. It's just that we irritate one another.
Nevertheless, dinner time is when families like to be together.
Oh, I know that. And I sure appreciate your having me here. I'll get it. Hello? Patty? Who's calling her? Oh, hi, Billy. Well, there's no point in you calling her anymore. I gave her my ring today. Yeah. Tough luck, old man. Why don't you try Alice? She's a little tubby, but she's a great cook. Yeah. Bye. That's the 4th phone call Patty's got in the last 20 minutes. Boy, she sure used to be popular.
But not anymore.
Well, there's not much point in other guys calling her. She's only going to see little old me.
How does little old you feel about not seeing any other little old girls?
Well, if I didn't feel it was the right move, I wouldn't have given her my ring, Mr. Lane. It's a pretty serious step.
Let's hope it's not fatal.
What?
Nothing.
Hi, Papa. Hello, Richard.
Hello, darling.
We should be eating any minute.
Good. I'm starved. We eat earlier at my house. What did you do to your hair?
Oh, I'm just wearing it a little differently. Don't you like it?
No. Go back to the way it was.
I like it that way.
I'll change it.
That blouse isn't my favorite color either. I like blue.
I'll remember. Papa, can I have $5?
No. And what is it I'm not giving you $5 for?
A new blouse.
You've already exceeded your clothing allowance now.
Hello, darling.
Oh, hello, dear.
I made your favorite dish tonight.
Good.
I meant Richard's favorite dish. Well, dinner's ready. Shall we go in?
Yeah.
You should have heard him, Natalie. He's monitoring her phone calls, criticizes her hair and her clothes.
All this will settle down. It's just the first flush of his feeling possessive about her.
What kind of a home life does that boy have anyway? You know, I've never met Richard's father, but 10 to 1, he's trying to imitate him. His father must be a domineering type, one of those natural-born critics. And black-eyed peas give me heartburn.
I'm sorry. Richard likes them so, and I wanted to please him for Patty's sake. Tomorrow night, he won't mind if we have one of your favorites.
Are you trying to tell me that Richard is having dinner with us again tomorrow night?
Patty invited him.
No wonder boys want girls to wear their rings. Solves their eating and housing problems.
It's gonna be cuckoo.
Yeah. I could use some socks, too. Ow! Wow!
Hello? Hi, Greg. Saturday night? No, I couldn't. You see, I'm... A freshman from Harvard? No, Greg, I'm sorry. I couldn't go out with him. You see, he plays football. He's the captain of the chess team. He's in town to take a screen test for MGM. Oh, he first wants to finish his medical course.
He sounds like a drag.
Greg, I'm sorry, but he'll have to find another date. You see, I'm, wearing someone's ring. Richard's. What's so funny?
Yeah.
Wait a minute, Greg. Kathy!
Boy, he's got a fat nerve phoning you.
Kathy, do you have a date Saturday night? No, but You do now. Hello, Greg? Tell him he's got me. Or the closest thing he'll ever find to me. That's right. My cousin Kathy. Sure, he'll be crazy about her. Well, she can talk to him about chess. And I'll explain to her what a football is. Right. Okay, Greg. Bye. He's taking you to a prom Saturday night. Who is he? Oh, he's not much. He's just a combination of Troy Donahue, John Glenn, and Ben Case. Thank you, Patty. Perhaps we can double date. No, thank you. There's a big karate match on television Saturday.
Yeah.
Oh, well, enjoy it.
If that's another one of those guys, why don't you tell him just to butt out?
Hello? It's for you.
Oh, I guess Mom's beginning to miss me. Mom? Oh, hi, Sue Ellen. Easter week? Well, I'm pretty busy. You see, your father's taking a bunch of kids for a cruise on his yacht? Oh, it sounds great, but you're all going water skiing and swimming and... Yeah, I get the picture, but I'm afraid I can't. I've given up yachting. I mean, I've given my ring to Patty.
I wondered when you'd get around to mentioning it.
Maybe next Easter. I mean, better luck next time.
Are we going to a movie?
Yeah. No.
I guess not. You go ahead, Kath. But you two have been sitting in every night.
It's very relaxing. I enjoy it. Boy, that was a great dinner. You know, I think I'm gaining weight.
Why don't we watch television?
Sure, we could tune in Channel 11. They're giving karate lessons.
But there's a good comedy show on.
What's the matter? Aren't you interested in karate?
Of course. But we're watching the comedy show.
Well, I'd rather watch karate.
Let's not watch television at all.
It's all right with me.
Excuse me.
Richard really seems to be enjoying my cooking.
Yeah. I've never seen anyone have 7 helpings of mashed potatoes before.
Oh, thank you, Kathy.
Has it gone yet?
No. I don't like what's happening to Patty.
What do you mean?
Well, she and Richard seem to do nothing but fuss at one another.
I know. They might as well be married.
And what exactly do you mean by that?
Oh, now, honey, I didn't mean it the way it sounded. You know, Patty's a little young for all this. Why in the world do kids your age want to get tied down?
Well, I suppose it also means you get tied up. If a girl is going steady, she knows she always has a date. She never has to be alone unless she wants to be. She has someone to share things with.
I just don't like the idea of Patty's not seeing anyone but Richard.
Neither do I. What are we going to do about it?
So what if I call Richard's father and had a little talk with him?
Yeah, that might be a very good idea.
What's his father's name?
Jonathan. Jonathan Harrison.
Hello? Jonathan Harrison? How are you, Mr. Harrison? We were just discussing you. They were just discussing us. You would? Well, Richard's here right now. You'd rather wait until he's left. Just a minute. What's Richard's schedule? I mean, what time does he depart?
He'll be going home at about 10 o'clock.
Could you come by after 10? Fine. I'm looking forward to meeting you. Bye-bye.
Lane? Harrison.
How do you do?
Has Richard gone?
Yeah. Patty's walking him home. This is Richard's father, Mrs. Lane, our niece Kathy.
How do you do?
I'm going to be blunt, folks. My son, Richard, is too young to be going steady.
So is our daughter, Patty.
Mr. Harrison, if you feel he's too young, why did you allow it?
Because he came home with some cock and bull story about being an old maid if he didn't give a girl his ring. He made it sound like he was the last teenager on earth who wasn't going steady. Mrs. Harrison and I didn't want to destroy his life, so we gave in.
That's the story at our house, too.
They keep outsmarting us.
Richard's a big disappointment to me.
I would think so.
Yep. Everyone told the missus and me that when he got to be 16, he'd get moody and withdrawn, and we'd have no communication with him.
Well, that happens sometimes with teenagers.
We weren't one of the lucky ones. It didn't happen to us.
It didn't?
No. And we were really counting on it, too. He communicates with us night and day. He wants a new car, a bigger allowance, more clothes. Boy, does he communicate. And there's no way to turn him off.
I know what you mean.
Since he gave Patty his ring, he's never at home anymore. I like it, but his mother wants him back.
Why?
Mothers. The question is, what are we going to do about it? You'd think he was married. The last few days, he's been walking around like he's carrying the weight of the world.
Maybe it's all those mashed potatoes.
You said it. That's the solution.
Mashed potatoes?
No, getting married. Papa.
I forgot my key.
Oh.
Hello, darling.
Richard's here.
Good, good. It's a beauty, all right. You're a lucky girl. Your Richard kind of grows on you. Heidi, hi, Rich.
Oh, hello, Mr. Lane.
No. Make yourself at home. I brought you the evening paper.
Well, thank you.
It's all right, my boy. Anytime I can do anything for you, you let me know. That's what I'm here for.
Oh, that's sure nice of you, Mr. Lane.
We've never really gotten to know one another, Richard. Patty feels the way she does about you. You must have a number of wonderful qualities.
That's correct, sir, I have. Patty's got great judgment.
I know she has.
Sandwich, sir?
Not before dinner. Well, I'm very glad to see that Patty is finally settling down.
You don't have to worry about Patty.
No, not anymore. I have you to thank for that.
I haven't done anything.
You've done more than you know, my boy. Yes, sir. The idea of marriage can do wonderful things to a girl.
The idea of marriage?
That's right, son. I've never seen Patty so happy.
Mr. Lane, Patty's a very happy girl. I mean, it has nothing to do with me. She's just naturally happy.
You're modest. I like that.
I wouldn't want you to have a misunderstanding about the ring. I mean, it's just a ring.
Richard, a ring is the oldest known symbol of unity in our civilization.
Not when you wear it around your neck.
Different groups, different customs.
I'm afraid you have the wrong idea. I'm not ready to get married. Ask my father. He'd kill me.
I did.
You did what?
Talk to your father. He came over here last night.
My father came here? What was he sore about?
Not a thing. You know how it is when families are about to merge. The parents like to get together and talk things over.
When families are about to merge?
Your father loves the idea of Patty as a daughter-in-law.
My father said that?
Of course, we talked about giving you a little financial help the first year or two, but your father says you're the kind of a boy who likes to stand on his own 2 feet. I must say I admire you for that.
Mr. Lane, I think...
Well, I think I'll go see what's cooking. I'll bet your mother-in-law's fixed one of your favorite dishes.
My mother-in-law?
We're going to be around each other for a good many years, huh? You know how it is when families are about to merge, son. Parents like to get together and talk things over. I'll bet your mother-in-law is fixing one of your favorite dishes, huh? Son?
Richard. Richard? Richard? I brought you some more sandwiches.
Why?
To eat. I want you to fit my sweater.
Yeah, that's another thing. Knitting me a sweater and socks? Boy, how stupid can a man be? I never even suspected what was behind it.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about what happens when two families merge.
Who's merging?
Nobody, that's who. Even if our families do want us to get married.
You flipped.
Oh, no. My father came over here last night to make the arrangements.
He what?
That's right.
It's a beauty, all right. You're a lucky girl. Richard kind of grows on you.
Nothing. Excuse me. Are you busy, Daddy?
Come on in. Tell me about your problem.
How did you know I had a problem?
Because when life is a bowl of cherries, you call me Popo. Now, what's the matter, honey?
If I say something, will you promise not to say I told you so?
I promise.
I'm not ready to go steady.
I told you so.
How do I get out of it?
Why don't you simply tell Richard how you feel about it?
No, that'd break his heart.
I see. Well, we couldn't do that, could we? Suppose that I have a talk with Richard and tell him that your mother and I feel that you're too young to be going steady.
That's the coward's way out. Will you do it?
I'll be delighted.
Thanks, Papa.
Mr. Lane?
Come in, Richard.
Patty said you wanted to see me.
That's right, son.
I wish you wouldn't call me son. It makes me nervous. Mr. Lane, I need your help.
Well, what's your problem?
Patty.
What's the matter? Aren't you two getting along?
Oh, we get along too well. I mean, I'm too young to be going steady. I've got my whole life ahead of me. Only I don't know how to get out of this.
I see. Well, they say that honesty is the best policy. Why don't you just tell Patty how you feel?
What? And break her poor little heart?
Of course. Suppose that I put my foot down and tell Patty that I think she's too young to be going steady.
Would you do that?
Well, I can't promise anything, but I'll try.
Oh, thanks a million, Mr. Lane.
Thank you. I mean, you're very welcome.
Just one thing. Be gentle with her.
Where's Patty?
Getting dressed. She's going out tonight.
Who does she have a date with?
Well, from the parts of telephone conversations I've overheard, it's the president of the senior class, a swimming champion, or a senator's son. The phone hasn't stopped ringing all day.
Yeah, it's like old times.
Hi, group.
You look beautiful.
Thanks, Mom.
I haven't seen you look this happy in weeks.
Ever since Richard took his ring back, I felt like a new woman. For a while, I thought he was going to be my brother-in-law. Gee, I was scared.
I think we were all a little scared.
That's my date. I better go. He hates to be kept waiting.
Patty, bring him in for a moment so we can at least say hello.
Sure.
I've never seen such a change in anyone.
Isn't it lovely?
I want to meet this boy.
Like hi.
Here's Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square.
But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair, but they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh alike,
They walk alike,
at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
Natalie, I have a staff meeting at 9 o'clock.
You'll make it. Let's see now. That's a waffle for Ross, fried eggs for Martin, scrambled eggs for Patty, and French toast for Kathy.
Good morning, ladies.
Good morning, Doctor.
What are you doing at this moment?
Fixing breakfast. What are you doing?
Are you fixing breakfast or performing one of 100 other household tasks? Then I wholeheartedly approve.
Thank you, Doctor.
With one reservation, only if your family appreciates what you're doing.
You bet they do.
One of the major problems of the housewife in modern civilization is that she is taken for granted. She becomes no more than a useful piece of furniture around the house, and she is treated as such.
Boy, have you got a lot to learn. Here we are. That's French toast for Kathy.
Thank you.
Scrambled eggs for Patty. Fried eggs for Martin. And a waffle for Ross.
Richard and Craig are picking us up at 6 o'clock. We'll have dinner on the way. I'll get home early. I want to do my hair. Will you do mine for me while you're at it, Kath? All right. You're a giant. Remind me to do something nice for you sometime, Cuz.
Is everything all right?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we go to a movie tonight?
No, the CEA conference is starting today. I'm afraid I won't be home for dinner.
Patty?
Kathy and I won't be home either, Mom. We're double dating with a couple of tycoons.
Ross?
I have a patrol meeting tonight.
I see.
Therefore, in conclusion, let me say, housewives, you may be in bigger trouble than you think. The big question is, are mothers people?
Meet Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square.
But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair, but they're cousins, identical cousins all the way. One pair of matching bookends, different as night and day.
Where Kathy adores a minuet, the ballet russe, and crepe Suzette.
Our Patty loves to rock and roll, a hot dog makes her lose control. What a wild duet, still they're cousins, identical cousins, and you find they laugh alike,
They walk alike,
at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
Natalie? Natalie?
Yes, dear.
What'd you do with my briefcase?
Well, I didn't do anything with it.
Well, somebody did. I left it right there in the hall closet.
Did you look in there?
Of course I looked in there.
There it is, right where you left it.
Well, there's so much junk in there, it's a wonder anybody can find anything.
Well, I'm going to clean it out again just as soon as I find the time. You know, most of the things in there are yours, darling, and a lot of it could go into the basement.
Oh, that's a good idea. But not the golf clubs.
All right.
I'd say we'd better keep the skis up here, too.
All right. You never know when it'll snow in the closet.
What do you know? My old medicine ball.
That could go in the basement.
No, I'm going to start working out a little. Hey, there's my old fishing pole.
That could certainly go.
Let's leave it.
You planning to fish through the ice?
Well, since I get a little time, I think I'd like to practice a little dry fly casting. Now, this could certainly go somewhere else.
Oh, you're right.
You know, if my desk were that cluttered, we'd never get the newspaper out.
Darling.
Yeah?
Oh, never mind.
All set. Papa, will you give us a lift?
Oh, sure. Say, Natalie, there's some buttons missing from my blue shirt and my striped shirt. Would you sew them on when you get a chance?
All right.
I ripped my corduroys. Maybe you can patch it.
I'll take a look at them.
Mom, if Roger calls, will you tell him that we're meeting at Susie's? We're going to stop for a bite at Binky's if he wants to join us. Aunt Natalie, if Judy calls, will you tell her that I won't be able to help her with her math tonight, but that I'll call tomorrow night at 8 o'clock?
If Roger calls, you're meeting at Susie's. He can join you at Binky's. You can't work with Judy tonight. 8 o'clock tomorrow night. The buttons on your blue shirt and striped shirt, and a rib in your corduroy pants.
Bye.
Bye, Mom.
Joan? Natalie, are you doing anything? Can you come over here right now? I guess I've always just taken it for granted that my family appreciates me. But this morning, when I heard that psychologist talking about what a big problem this is to American housewives, I realized it was true. They don't appreciate me.
Welcome to the club, honey.
I clean for them, cook for them, sew on buttons, nurse their colds, and I love doing it. Don't misunderstand me.
Oh, I read you loud and clear. You just want a little appreciation.
Exactly. You know, all they have to do is just say thank you once in a while. A little pat on the head to old dog Trey. Joan, do you know how many breakfasts I've cooked for them? 6,559.
How do you happen to know that?
I figured it out. And you know how many dishes I've washed?
I'd rather not hear.
You think I'm making a mountain out of a molehill?
No. I think you're making a molehill out of a mountain. I think it's time for the mothers of the world to unite.
I hate to say it about my own family, but I have to face facts. They're selfish. They don't care what happens to me.
You know, what we really need is a union.
How do I go about joining?
First, we have to plan our attack.
You make it sound like some kind of battle.
That's exactly what it is. All-out war.
Joan, this is my family. I love them. They love me.
Of course, but every once in a while, you have to give them a little nudge to remind them that you're around, that's all.
What am I supposed to do? Go around saying, appreciate me, everybody?
There are techniques.
I'm afraid I don't know them.
Mother will teach you. Step 1. Tomorrow morning, you are going to be so sick.
What?
Tomorrow morning, you are going to stay in bed. We'll start them off with a little sympathy. It never fails.
Honey, is there anything I can bring you before I go to work?
No, thank you.
How are you feeling?
Oh, fine, thank you. Just a little weak.
You're probably coming down with a cold.
Or pneumonia.
I doubt it. You'll be on your feet before you know it. You're too restless to spend more than a few hours in bed. By the way, while you're resting, we should look over the speech I'm going to make at the Overseas Club tonight. See if you think there's anything I should add to it. And I'd appreciate it if you would see that my dinner jacket is pressed. And by the way, please call Gilroy's and tell them to make sure my shirt is here by 5 o'clock, okay?
Hi, Mom. How are you feeling? Oh, Mom, I'm supposed to meet Richard back here after school, but I'll be tied up with a dance committee meeting. When he comes, will you tell him to go over to Alice's and I'll meet him over there? Oh, and you might call Alice and tell her that Richard is bringing the records. I'd call him myself, but I won't have time. How are you feeling, Aunt Natalie?
Terrible.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're probably coming down with a cold. I'm expecting a COD package. Could you please pay the delivery man when he comes? There's a dress in it. If you're feeling well enough, I would appreciate it if you'd hang it up for me. I'd like to wear it tonight.
How you feeling, Mom?
Marvelous.
That's great. Mom, one of the wings of my model jet got broken. I told Mr. Francioso you'd bring it in. If he can't fix it, buy a model kit 7A. Don't get 7B, 7A. And he'll give you a trade-in on the model kit on my dresser. If it's not on my dresser, it's in one of my drawers.
Can't you do it yourself after school?
I'm not coming home after school. We're going out to play ball, and I need the plane to enter in a contest Saturday.
Perhaps your mother doesn't feel up to it, Ross.
Oh, don't worry about me. I'll do it while I'm resting. Look over your speech, have dinner jacket pressed, tell Gilroy's to have your shirt here by 5 o'clock. Tell Richard to meet you at Alice's. Tell Alice Richard will be there with the records. Pay postman for your address, hang it up. Take your model jet to Mr. Franciosa. If he can't fix it, buy model 7A, not 7B. He will give trade-in for a model set on your dresser. And if I have any time left over while I'm convalescing, why don't I just build another wing onto the house? Didn't work? Didn't work. It was one of the busiest days of my life. Oh, they have no feeling for me at all. I'm Gimme Lane. Give me this and give me that. All right, we're going to have to go on to step 2. Could you skip to step 3? I'm getting mad. I'm not ready yet for step 3. Now, we're going to have to start work on Martin. You know, when a husband finds the lines in a newspaper more interesting than his wife's lines, it's time to do something about it. Oh, well, Martin has to read the newspapers. It's his business. So are you. When was the last time you wallowed in a beauty parlor? I was at the hairdresser's 2 weeks ago. I said wallowed. I mean facial, massage, shampoo set, manicure, pedicure. Wallowed. I see. And it wouldn't do your morale any harm to be sporting a new French dress with some heady perfume to match. Well, that'd be very expensive. That's his problem.
Uncle Martin, what's the 7-letter word for ill-tempered?
Testy. No, that's 5.
I think it begins with a G.
Grumpy? No, that's only 6.
Watch this go.
Ross, will you be careful? This is a small airport.
I'm gonna join the Air Force when I grow up. Oh, I'll bet they can't wait. I wasn't talking to you.
Hey, can't the two of you behave in a more civilized manner toward one another?
I apologize. I consider the source, and I accept it. Well, you're a gracious monster. Neither of you means a word of it. You should have heard Ross leap to your defense when Pinky Miller said his sister was prettier than you. Is that true? You should see his sister.
Good evening.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Mom.
Hi, honey. What time are we eating?
Is that all you think about, eating?
Well, I only asked because we have an editorial meeting tonight and I have to get down to the paper. Dinner isn't going to be ready soon. I'll have a sandwich out.
Of course, I don't want you to eat out. I'll fix something right away.
I have a date, too, Mom. I'm going bowling. I'm afraid I don't have much time either, Aunt Natalie. I promised Nancy I'd help her with her homework.
Well, it looks like we all have a problem. You know, Natalie, you really ought to organize your time better.
What?
Well, if businessmen ran their businesses as haphazardly as the average home is run, nothing would ever get done.
I'm sorry. Let me get out of this rag and I'll go fix dinner.
What's with the mother figure?
I don't know.
Gee, she's been acting awfully touchy lately. She reminds me of an old snapping turtle I used to have. Don't suppose she's sick, do you, Uncle Martin? I've never seen her act like this before. Maybe she's just getting old. You know how old people are.
No, how are we?
Grouchy. That's it.
That's what?
It's a 7-letter word. Grouchy.
Auntie? No, thank you. Joan, are you sure we're doing the right thing?
Certainly. Will you just leave everything to me? Step 3 always works.
What happened to steps 1 and 2?
I'm telling you, step 3 will work.
It's almost 10 o'clock. They must be worried sick.
That's the whole idea. By the time you walk in that door, they'll have the whole Brooklyn Heights police force out looking for you.
I never did anything like this before. I didn't even fix dinner for him. I feel like a criminal.
For heaven's sakes, will you stop worrying about everybody else and start worrying about yourself a little?
It's all the same thing. They are me.
So are you. And it's time they realized it.
I really must go.
All right. If you want to be an unappreciated household drudge for the rest of your life.
Pour me some more tea. I'm home.
Hi, honey.
Hi, Mom.
Check.
Hello, Aunt Natalie.
It's after 10 o'clock.
Geez, is it that late? Well, I guess you better get on up to bed, son.
Night, Mom.
I'm sorry I'm so late. Joan and I had dinner together, and time just flew.
Good. Kath, you want to take over for Ross? And you're in check.
What'd you do about dinner?
No, I fixed us something.
Weren't you worried about me?
No, I figured you had dinner with Joan and the time just flew.
That's terrible.
What'd I say?
Papa, I think we have a problem. What's the matter?
I just got blasted again.
What did you do?
I said good morning. Maybe I said it wrong. Good morning. Good morning. Buenos dias. I wish somebody'd write a book on the care and feeding of parents.
Do you know what I think the trouble is, Patty?
Sure, she hates us.
No, I think she's just tired.
You know, you could be right, Kathy.
I'm sure I am.
She probably doesn't realize how hard she works around here. She's not getting any younger.
Why don't we try to make things easier for her?
You've solved it. We're going to reorganize things around here. And right now. You take this stuff. I was going to ask her to press it. It would have taken her at least an hour. But now I'm not going to ask her.
Good for you.
You're going to press it.
Why me?
You're young and strong.
So are you.
Don't worry. I'm going to do my share. I'll clean our room. I better fix the zipper, too.
And I can take these things to the cleaners for her.
Good. I'll do the marketing.
There are some shoes to be resoled. I'll take them down for her.
We're really getting things organized. Before we're through, she won't have anything to do.
She still has to cook.
Oh, we can solve that, too. Tomorrow morning, we'll get up half an hour earlier and fix breakfast.
What about dinner tonight?
Oh.
Why don't we go to the delicatessen and buy some barbecued chicken and potato salad and dessert?
You're really rolling, Kat. I'll spring for it with my own loot.
I'll set the table and make the coffee.
We're in orbit. Oh, except for one little thing.
Ross.
Yeah. Okay, you wait on the monster from 8 till 5. I'll take over from 5 till 8. That'll keep him out of Mom's hair.
Well, that should take care of everything.
We're gonna make a lady of leisure out of her. Let's get to work.
Why, it's all clean.
Afternoon, Mrs. Lane.
Well, I didn't order that. I haven't even done my shopping.
Patty took care of it.
Patty?
Yes, ma'am. I'll put the meat in the freezer.
Oh, I'll do that.
She said I was to do it. She said she won't be using this tonight. She's sending home a barbecued chicken. Bye.
Well, if everybody's finished eating, I'll clear the table. I'll get the dessert. I want to add some chocolate sauce to it.
Boy, that's one of the best dinners we've had in a long time. Natalie, you haven't eaten anything.
I'm not hungry. Excuse me.
Looks like your plan isn't working very well. Not only that, but it's giving me indigestion. Boy, that chicken tastes like boiled cardboard.
I don't know what to do, Papa. Nothing we do pleases her.
At least my turtle was friendly some of the time.
Uncle Martin, have you tried asking her what's wrong?
Over and over. All she says is, oh, I'm fine, thank you. You can see icicles forming over every word. I don't know what she wants.
A vacation.
What?
Mom needs a vacation.
Well, maybe she does, but I can't get away right now, Patty.
No, all by herself, with none of us around to bug her. She could lie in the sun all day and have room service.
Yeah, and she'll go swimming and fishing and boating. Maybe I'll go with her.
I think we should stick to the original plan. We'll give her a week's vacation, just for her.
Yeah, maybe that'll make her smile again.
Let's go tell her the good news.
It's unbelievable, Joe. That chicken tasted like cardboard, and Martin said it was the best dinner he ever had. They wouldn't even let me in my own kitchen. You were right. They don't need me anymore. I'm in the way. I'll talk to you later.
Hi, Mom. How you feeling?
Just fine, thank you.
Natalie, we'd like to talk to you.
It's urgent.
Now, the four of us just had a family conference.
About me?
Yes, Aunt Natalie.
Go on.
What would you think about a trip to Florida?
Florida?
A real vacation.
Nothing to do but lie around in the sun and fish and swim.
And shop. Would that please you?
Yes, it sounds wonderful. Oh, I've been so silly. I thought that... It doesn't matter. Martin, can you get away? And is it all right to take the girls out of school?
We're not going.
No, we're sending you off by yourself.
You sending me away?
Yes. Won't it be lovely?
It'll be a great vacation. You can stay down there for a whole week, all by yourself.
A week? Why not 2 weeks? Or a month? Or maybe I'll never come back.
We're in bigger trouble than I thought. What's the matter? I just came from Mom's room. Her bed is covered with travel folders. What's wrong with that? They're for around-the-world cruises. She wouldn't do that. She's taking enough suitcases for a safari. Could she be angry with us? With us? Don't be silly. We've cooked for her, we've cleaned for her. I wonder if she appreciates us. Perhaps she thinks we don't... No. What? Just a silly idea. She's a big disappointment to me. I didn't think she'd go. We all told her to go. Well, she didn't have to listen to us. You know that line from Shakespeare? There's something rotten in the state of Denmark? Hamlet. Well, there's something rotten in Brooklyn. Your average red-blooded American mother just doesn't walk out on her family. It's un-American. We're not going to let her do it. Never mind me. How could she do that to a poor little kid like you? Yeah. Listen, maybe we can pay her to stay. She can't walk out on us. And we're going to tell her so.
I've given them the best years of my life, and now they're through with me. They can't wait for me to get out of here. Well, they're not going to get rid of me that easily.
Where is she?
She's in her room.
No, we made a terrible mistake. We can't let her go.
We've got to stop her.
Right.
You're not going. We need you, Aunt Natalie. We can't get along
It's my house, and I am not leaving.
What did you say?
I said I'm staying here with my family.
You mean you want to stay?
Of course I do. I live here.
But you've been acting as though you hated us.
I thought you hated me. I haven't heard one kind word from any of you in years.
You're kidding.
Look, I love doing things for all of you. All I wanted was just one little thank you.
We're sorry, Mom. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies. This morning, we're going to examine the American woman's role in the household. Do you know what you are in your household?
You bet I do. Indispensable. Oh, thank you, Patty.
My pleasure. I'll help you with the dishes and then
Oh,
I'll...
you run along and meet Richard.
Are you sure? I don't mind doing them.
Thanks, darling. Neither do I.
You know, Mom, I guess I never really stopped to think how much you do around here. It never quits, does it?
No, it never quits, and it doesn't pay much, but the fringe benefits are great.
Thanks, Mom.
Oh, what?
For being so great. I guess we all take a lot for granted sometimes. We forget to say thank you, so... Thank you.
You're so welcome. Let's get the coffee in there before I cry into it.
Gee, these are the best waffles I've ever tasted, Mom.
The eggs are delicious.
I love the French toast. Even the milk is great.
Oh, okay, don't overdo it.
We just wanted you to know that we appreciate you. We may not always remember to tell you, but we do.
Thank you.
Oh, by the way, honey, would you check with the laundry and ask them to stop starching my collars? And there's some buttons missing again.
I promised Ted I'd lend him my atlas. Would you please tell him the 2 maps he's looking for are on the back pages, near the index?
Mom, I broke my shoelaces. And while you're out getting some, would you please tell Mr. Francioso I've changed my mind about that model kit 7A? Take it back and get C16. That's the big job.
Oh, Mom, I'm bringing Mary and Alice by for dinner. Alice doesn't eat veal, and Mary doesn't eat broccoli. Oh, and if Richard calls, would you tell him that I can't meet him at the library, but I'll see him at the mall shop at 4 o'clock?
Here's Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square.
But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair, but they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two.
Oh, I'm afraid she's out.
Out? What a pity. Opportunity knocked and she missed it.
May I help you? I'm Mrs. Zane's niece.
Well, my name is Hanson. I am vice president of the Magic Midget Vacuum Cleaner Company, and I was bringing her a once-in-a-lifetime offer. Well, this is her unlucky day.
Oh, just a moment, Mr. Hanson. Do come in. Aunt Natalie did mention she needed a vacuum cleaner.
She did?
Yes, just before she went out shopping this morning. She has a birthday coming up, and I'd like to buy her a vacuum cleaner as a present.
Well, now, this is your aunt's lucky day.
It's very attractive. Is it a good one? Forgive me for asking, but I don't know much about vacuum cleaners.
I'm glad you asked that question. Shows you're alert. Now, that's good. No one will ever take advantage of you. Now, the Magic Midget is one of the marvels of our age. May I give you a little demonstration?
Would you?
Yes. May I impose upon you, please? There. You are.
What are you doing?
Oh, don't worry. I'm just giving the Magic Midget his breakfast. Now, you watch this. From now on, your aunt will be able to spend her mornings in bed, afternoons at the beauty parlor, and her evenings at the opera. By this marvelous contrivance will free her from the drudgery of her household chores.
I'll buy it. If it isn't too expensive.
It's only $29.50.
Isn't that very inexpensive?
Now, I'm glad you asked me that question. Oh, I can see it's going to be a pleasure doing business with you. Now, the Magic Midget sells far below any other brand on the market today. Now, how can we afford to practically give this machine away? Low overhead.
I'll go get the money.
Just a moment. You haven't seen everything yet. Now, you won't want to give your aunt this beautiful Magic Midget without this marvelous, handy, this beautiful drape cleaning attachment.
That is beautiful.
Yes, it is. And this one here, now this will clean your walls. And this one here, this will clean the couches under the sofa with that. And this one will clean your dog. I've got one here that will clean your clothes. I got another one here that'll clean inside your dresser drawer.
Here's Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square.
But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair, but they're cousins, identical cousins all the way. One pair of matching bookends, different as night and day.
Where Kathy adores a minuet, the ballet russe, and crepe Suzette.
Our Patty loves to rock and roll, a hot dog makes her lose control. What a wild duet, still they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
Hi, Gus. What's the matter with you? You look like you're about to rain. Oh, Patty, I've done the most awful thing. You? You couldn't do anything awful. Everybody's always holding up to me as an example. What did you do? As you would say, I goofed. Salesman came to the door this morning selling vacuum cleaners. I wanted to buy one for your mother, and he said it was only $29.50. So I bought it. What's the matter with that? Sounds like a great buy. With all the attachments and the sales tax, came to $145. Patty, I don't have $145. You know something? What? You goofed. Thanks. Don't worry, we'll get you out of it. We'll make him take it back. Where is it? He's delivering it tomorrow. I bought so much that he has to send it in a truck. I already gave him a $25 deposit. He's not taking anything back, Patty. He's a great salesman. So am I. You have to know how to handle people like that. Do you really think you could get him to cancel the order and give me my money back? It's a cinch. You just relax. The old master is at work. Kathy, I have to handle this myself. You wait upstairs. Are you sure? Have I ever steered you wrong? Yes.
Good morning, young lady. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you again, Mr.
The Hanson.
Hanson, of course.
Well, I believe this is everything. Congratulations. You're going to make your aunt a very happy woman.
Mr. Hanson, I've been thinking it over, and I've decided that I'm going to give my aunt a birthday card instead. I don't want this.
But you wanted all this.
I've changed my mind.
Well, I'm afraid it's a little too late for that.
Mr. Hanson, I want my deposit back, and if I don't get it, I'm going to call...
Not give it to you? Now, what kind of a company do you think you're doing business with?
You mean she can have... I can have my money back?
Why, of course. Our company deals only with satisfied customers.
Well, if I can have my money back, then I'm a satisfied customer.
But I must admit, this neighborhood certainly had me fooled.
I don't understand. It's a good neighborhood.
Oh, that's just what I mean. You know, sometimes we move into homes that we can't afford. Get in over our heads. You know, trying to keep up with the Joneses. Though there's nothing to be ashamed of. I'm sure your family is just having a temporary financial setback.
A temporary financial... Mr. Hanson, I'll have you know that my family can afford anything the Joneses can afford. More. My father is very successful. He happens to be...
I'm sorry. I couldn't sell all this stuff to you now. My conscience wouldn't allow it. Now, if things are really bad, there are some welfare agencies that...
Just a minute, Mr. Hanson. Let me tell you something. So, you don't have to come up with $145 anymore. Good. It's $165. I bought another $20 worth of accessories. You what? I had to do it, Kathy. The honor of the family was at stake. Either that or he's the greatest salesman I've ever met. Patty, we have to find him and make him take this back. Forget it. I signed the order and wrote in it that I was over 18, so it would be legal. I wanted to make sure he couldn't take it back. I trusted you. The trick is not to panic. Do you know what we're going to do? Panic. We're going to go out and sell that stuff. Who'd want to buy it? I don't know. There must be some other suckers around someplace. Our friend Hanson makes a living at it. He's a salesman. So am I. If he can sell it, I can sell it. Come on. Patty, we can't just go out and sell vacuum cleaners. We're not. We're going out and sell one vacuum cleaner. And 10,000 attachments. No one's going to buy it from you. They're not buying it from me. They're buying it from the executive sales manager of the Worldwide Vacuum Cleaner Company. Let's go. Patty, you need a license to sell things. Oh, who's gonna know? This isn't our life's work. We're just doing it this once, and then we're going straight.
Can I help you?
No, sir. We're here to help you. As a matter of fact, this is your lucky day, Mr. Rogers. We have here a little vacuum cleaner
Vacuum cleaner?
Patty, let's go.
Well, I was going downtown to buy one Saturday.
Well, we're going to save you that trip, Mr. Rogers.
Come in. Is it a good vacuum cleaner?
I'm glad you asked me that question.
This is the greatest electronic marvel of the age. We'll give you a demonstration. Kathy? How about that?
Well, that's great. How much is it?
$29.50. With the attachments, it's $165.
Isn't that a lot?
Mr. Rogers. Do you know what you're getting here? This isn't just a vacuum cleaner. It's a way of life. It'll clean your rugs, your drapes, take the lint off your suit. It'll clean your dog, climb ceilings, goes around corners,
I'll take it.
waxes furniture, fluff. What'd you say?
I said I'd buy it. It's my wife's birthday. She's been wanting one. Well, excuse me. I got the money.
Didn't I tell you it was easy? I can't believe it. Maybe that'll teach you to have a little more confidence in me. I may be the greatest salesman of our time.
Here's the money. You'll just give me a receipt. Why, where are you going?
We just remembered another appointment.
What about the vacuum cleaner?
Oh, you wouldn't want it. We've been having an awful lot of trouble at the factory with it. We'll come back when we have the bugs ironed out. Bye! Patty, we'd better stop this. We're going to get into trouble. Oh, we can't quit now. We have to get rid of this stuff. Who do you think you're going to sell it to? Whose name is on the bill? Mr. J. Appleton. Bingo! Ring it. What do you want? We want you, Mrs. Appleton. May we? Oh, you're just moving in here. It's lucky for you that we came along. I'm the executive sales manager of the Worldwide Vacuum Company. This is my assistant. And this is the Magic Midget. It can do anything.
I don't need a vacuum cleaner, and I'm busy.
I can see that. Do you know how long it would take you to clean this apartment without a vacuum cleaner? Hours. But with the Magic Midget, this place could be cleaned up in no time. Kathy? You?
Miss! Miss! What are you doing?
I'm glad you asked me that question. There's no need to worry, Mrs. Appleton. The Magic Midget will pick this up in a jiffy.
Stop that!
Oh. This is really going to open your eyes. A little more dirt here.
You clean that right up.
That's exactly what I intend to do, Mrs. Appleton. Where's the outlet?
There's no electricity.
Look at that. I'm a nervous wreck. Let's go home, please. Let's try it one more time, hmm? Smile. Yes? May I help you? You don't want to buy a vacuum cleaner, do you?
No, I'm afraid not, but thank you so much for asking me.
That's perfectly all right, Mrs. Smythe. We didn't mean to disturb you. We just thought that the Magic Midget was so marvelous, 'twould ease your burdens.
Why, you're from England.
How did you guess?
My dear child, you can't fool an old Britisher like me. Well, don't stand in the drafty hallway. Do come in.
Oh, what part of England are you from? The White Cliffs of Brooklyn Heights.
Oh, it's such a pleasure to hear a civilized accent again. You know, I've been living here for 20 years, and I still can't understand a word the Americans say.
It's a beastly bore, isn't it?
Well, as I said to Ronnie, that's my son, we should have kept it as a colony. The shopping is marvelous.
Quite. And things come right to your door. It's frightfully convenient.
May I offer you a spot of tea?
No, thank you. We must go. Patricia? Yes, we've had our tea, thank you. We're rarely much pushing on, you know.
Oh, pity.
Duty. Quite. Stop.
If I'm not being too inquisitive, what is it that you're selling?
Oh, this? It's nothing, really.
Oh, it's a vacuum cleaner.
Yes, it's quite good, actually.
Well, how much is it?
We paid $165 for it. But we'll sell it to you for $155.
Well, if it will assist you girls, I shall purchase it.
Do you mean it?
Of course I mean it. It's the least I can do for a fellow countryman.
Yippee!
What?
That is to say, hello.
Shall we say $140?
Well, it's nice to see such joy around. You want to let us in on it?
We're just happy, Uncle Martin.
Yeah, I can see that.
Where have you two been all day? I haven't seen you.
We just had to get rid of something.
Hey, looks like my editorial is finally bringing results.
What do you mean, dear?
You remember the editorial I wrote last week on the phony door-to-door salesmen who cheat housewives? Well, the police are beginning to crack down on them. Seems to be a new teenage gang operating. Policemen reported that 2 teenage girls tried to sell them a vacuum cleaner. A woman reported that 2 teenage girls came in and ruined her apartment and then fled. According to a third report, the girls seemed to be 2 English girls.
More coffee?
No, thanks. It's good dinner, though. Well, if you'll excuse me, I'd like to do some work. You know, I think I'm going to crack down on this teenage gang. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a Fagin behind them, supplying them with materials and putting up the money.
It could be just 2 innocent teenagers.
I doubt that. Anyway, the police will catch up with them.
Aren't you going to finish your cake, Kathy?
No, thank you. I'm not very hungry. Excuse me. Neither am I. Excuse me.
Boy, I wish I had a tape recorder in their room.
Forget it.
What are we going to do?
We're gonna go out and buy the vacuum cleaner back.
Then we'll be stuck with it again.
It's better than having our pictures plastered in every post office. When we get it back, we'll throw ourselves on the mercy of the father figure. Should I help you with the dishes, Mom?
Well, that's very sweet of you, Ross.
Or should I go to the patrol meeting? We're studying knots, and I'm bringing the rope.
The dishes.
Mom, without a rope...
Oh, I'm only teasing. Of course, you go on to the patrol meeting.
But it was a touching offer, son.
I'll help with the dishes tomorrow night, Mom.
You run along.
And don't get home late.
I won't. Bye.
Say, did Patty and Kathy go out?
Yes.
They must have been in a big hurry. It's funny, I had the feeling that Patty wanted to talk to me tonight.
About what?
I don't know. But she had that "Hi, Papa, were you in a good mood" look on her face. I have a feeling that she's painted herself into another corner.
I don't think it's anything serious.
Yeah, you're probably right. You know, we're pretty lucky. I mean, they're both such nice girls. Just think they could have turned out like those teenage racketeers who are victimizing the neighborhood.
Thank heavens we don't have anything like that to worry about.
Would you like me to help you with the dishes?
Yes, I would. Thank you.
Or would you like me to write my editorial so it makes the next edition? I'll help you with the dishes.
Why don't you go in and buy it back from her?
You speak her language.
Oh, maybe this isn't such a good idea. Do you know how many post offices there are in this country?
So, you've come back to the scene of your crime.
Yes, ma'am. May we come in?
I was shocked when I read of you two victimizing the city. You should be ashamed of yourselves.
We are, Mrs. Smythe. That's why we're here. We want to buy back the vacuum cleaner.
Buy it back?
Yes, ma'am. You see, we didn't have any right to sell it to you.
Well, now I don't know. I've become very attached to that vacuum cleaner.
Here's $140 back.
Oh, I couldn't part with it for that.
What do you mean?
Well, it's such a pretty little machine. I couldn't part with it for under $150.
Mrs. Appleton.
In here.
got the electricity back on.
Not for you, it isn't. First you get a broom and dustpan, and then you start using soap and water.
Oh. You know, Kathy, he was right. Who was right? The man who first said crime doesn't pay. I can feel muscles I never knew I had before. Even my aches have aches. I'm sorry, Patty. All this was my fault. I should never have dragged you into it. You didn't drag me. I jumped. I had this kooky knack for taking a little bit of trouble and turning it into a disaster. What are we going to do? Well, there's always the Foreign Legion. Perhaps I could borrow some money from Ross. Old Flintheart? Forget it. No. What we need is something daring. Patty. Imaginative. Patty. Bold. Patty. Yeah? No. That's how we got in all this trouble. Being bold. Well, do you have any better ideas? Yes. We're going to see your father. You don't have many ideas, do you? At least it's honest. I'm going to see him. Are you coming with me? You know I am. I can't let you go into the lion's den alone. Your father's very understanding, Patty. Oh, that's what I'm afraid of. He'll understand the whole thing. I hope he's in a good mood. There's only one way to find out. Yeah, we could write a letter and ask him. How about this? Papa, you want to laugh? We want it. Let's play it by ear. Come on. Papa, are you in a good mood?
Try me. Well, how much do you need?
We don't need money. We need mercy. Uncle Martin, you know that editorial you're going to write?
Yeah.
Well, if it's all the same to you, could you write about something else?
I don't understand. What's my editorial got to do with you?
We happen to be that teenage English gang the police have been looking for.
You're what?
We didn't plan it. It just turned out that way. You see, I bought a vacuum cleaner for Aunt Natalie. And I'm afraid I got in over my head.
And you went out and sold it to get your money back?
And when you told us about your editorial, we went out and bought it back again.
Yeah. And each time we managed to lose a little money on the deal.
And now you have the vacuum cleaner back.
Yeah. And 1,000 attachments.
Mm-hmm. Well, what do you expect me to do?
Well, when the man comes for the money tomorrow, could you explain to him that Kathy and I are minors? I signed a paper saying I was over 18, but it isn't true, so he can't hold us to the deal. Papa, please get Kathy's deposit back.
Is the vacuum cleaner any good?
It's great. If there's electricity.
Well, then I'm not going to ask him to take it back.
Not?
No, because there's a good lesson in this for both of you.
Papa, we've learned it.
Now, the fact that you signed a piece of paper saying you were over 18 does not make the contract binding. It's still up to the seller not to do business with a minor.
You mean all this time we had nothing to worry about?
No, you had something very important to worry about. You made a deal with someone. You might not have been legally bound, but you were morally bound. If he sold you a good product at a fair price, he had every right to expect you to go through with the deal.
What do you mean?
I'm glad you do, because we're going to keep the vacuum cleaner. Make a nice birthday present for your mother.
Well, Papa, we'll never be able to pay for it.
Well, I'll underwrite the venture, and you can pay me back in easy installments.
Thank you, Uncle Martin. Papa, you're the greatest.
Just do me one favor.
Anything.
Don't answer the door anymore.
Hurry up, she'll be home any minute. I've never seen so much junk before in my life. How clean can a house get? It's better than using soap and water.
Now remember, when she gets here, try to look natural, and we'll surprise her with all of the attachments at once.
Right. Here she comes. Aunt Natalie.
Hi, hon.
Hello.
Why don't you sit down and relax?
All right, just let me get out of my coat.
Let's bring it on when she comes back.
Hey, everybody pick up an attachment.
I'd have been home earlier, but I stopped to do some shopping. Isn't it beautiful? It's called a magic midget. And wait till you see all the attachments.
Oh, no.
Here's Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square.
But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair. But they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh alike,
They walk alike,
at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are.
What's it last night, Kath?
Oh, it was wonderful. They played a Brahms piano concerto.
Couldn't you get Patty to go with you to a concert one of these evenings?
I've tried. I don't think she's very interested. Let's face it, she's a peasant.
Well, there's nothing wrong with bowling.
Oh, of course not, only I'd like her to be well-rounded.
I don't think you have to worry about Patty, Uncle Martin.
I agree. She's a perfectly normal teenager.
Hi, Troops.
Hello, darling. How was the bowling?
Checky.
Checky?
Yeah. There was this artsy Kraft Candy who thought he was chairman of the board. He started to gleep this ice cube, but he was a real pebble.
All your mother asked was how the bowling was.
Morty.
She's a perfectly normal teenager.
What did I say?
Who knows?
Translation. Patty said that a boy who thought he was important tried to make a date with a girl, but didn't get anywhere. That's what I said. You know, it's a good thing I have a broad back. And a fat head. Listen, you little
Children, truce. Ross, it's almost your bedtime.
All right. Hey, look at this. How do you rate as a teenager? I took that test. It was fun. Yeah? What'd you score? An 85. Is that all? I'll show you how to get 100. Charm consists of appearance, attitude, and good manners. Answer the following questions honestly. Are you always careful to use proper English? Are you neat? How do you treat your brothers and sisters? Do you make a good impression on strangers? This is a cinch. And you only got an 85?
You know, I enjoy taking those silly tests.
Oh, some of them aren't so silly. They're based on sound psychological principles.
This one was a breeze. The answer on page 87. Papa,
Hmm?
did you say these tests make sense?
Yeah. Why?
I just flunked teenage.
Here's Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square.
But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair. But they're cousins, identical cousins all the way. One pair of matching bookends, different as night and day.
Where Kathy adores a minuet, the ballet russe, and crepe Suzette.
Our Patty loves her rock and roll, a hot dog makes her lose control. What a wild duet, still they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh alike,
They walk alike,
at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
Why are you lying here in the dark, Patty? What's the matter? Nothing. You're not still upset because you failed that test, are you? Those tests don't mean anything. Oh, yes, they do. Those psychologists are no dopes. You're a failure.
I bet I'm the only teenager in America who flunked that test.
There's not a thing in the world wrong with you.
I have no charm. I'm sloppy, immature, selfish, and uncooperative. Big fat zero.
Patty.
I laughed at your 85. Do you know what I got? A 10. Subhuman.
Patty, you're being silly.
I'm a nothing.
Well, if you really feel this way about yourself, why don't you do something about it?
What can I do? I'm hopeless.
Work on the things that bother you. If there's something in your character you don't like, change it.
Oh, it'd take me years. I wouldn't be a teenager anymore. I'm afraid to get married and have children. If they turn out to be like me.
I don't think you have to worry about that. If you don't stop the self-pity, I don't think you'll ever be able to get another date.
Thank you, Kathy.
For what?
For being honest with me.
Thank you, Bob.
Kathy?
Yes?
Would you turn out the light, please?
Hello, Richard.
Hi, Kath.
I'm glad you're here.
Oh, thanks. Where's Patty? We're going skating.
Oh, good. She should get out. Patty? Patty? Try to cheer her up, will you, Richard?
Cheer Patty up? She's always cheering me up. Well, half a minute, Patty Lane, we always call her. She sick or something?
No. She just failed ego. Did you call me? You have a visitor. Hello, Richard Harrison.
Hello, Patty Lane. Are you ready?
Ready?
We had a date to go skating, remember?
You've been very patient with me all these years. I wish to thank you.
What's the matter with her? What's wrong?
Oh, Richard, I'm a loser. You wouldn't want to go out with me. Why don't you go call Sue Ellen?
You're asking me to call Sue Ellen? You're my girl.
You don't know the real me. Even I was fooled. No, I'm not going out with anyone anymore, Richard. Ever.
I've seen you in some kooky moves, but this one's really far out.
You see? I've even poisoned you with my slang. The English language is a thing of beauty. And I've taught you to mangle it.
Patty, why don't I come back when you're feeling better?
No, please take her with you.
No, thanks. I'm already beginning to feel depressed. I'll call you when you're back to your old self. Do something with her, will you? Oh, boy.
Poor Richard. He's been so patient. I don't deserve him. You won't have to worry about it if you keep this up. Sue Ellen will have him. I used to be such a happy, ignorant kid. I wish I'd never seen that test. So does Brooklyn Heights. I do. You do what? I do. I do. I found the answer. I'm gonna be all right. Mrs. Selby School for Models. Do you want more charm? Do you want more self-confidence? Do you want to be a leader? Do you want to think tall? She's done it again.
Je suis pour tes mots, petit popo. Bonsoir, bonsoir. You were saying?
I hope you can help me, Mrs. Selby.
Well, I'm sure we can. There's an enormous demand for teenage models.
Well, I wasn't exactly interested in modeling. I just want to join the human race again.
Well, our courses are designed to instill self-confidence.
That's for me. I want to think tall again.
We'll teach you your ABCs here. Attitude, brightness, charm. You'll think tall.
That's for me.
Our course is $60 a semester.
That's a little taller than I had in mind.
Well, you can take time to pay for it, and of course, if we get you a modeling job, well, then we'll just deduct your tuition from that.
Hey, that's the bidder. When do we start hacking?
Immediately. First of all, I think we'll start you on a language course.
Yeah? What language?
English. Once more, please.
The chill in Brazil is mostly on the hill.
No, let's try that again. Very clearly now. I want elegance. Patty, may we hear you alone, please?
The chill in Brazil is mostly on the hill.
Well, that's a little better. Remember, a lady speaks...
What?
Softly. Oh. The world judges you in how you move, talk, and look. Now then, Patty, may we see you walk, please?
You mean... walk? Nothing special. I just walk. Nothing to it. I've been doing it all my life.
I'm afraid you've been doing it wrong all of your life.
It's been getting me there.
When you walk, you keep your shoulders erect, your head high, place one foot directly in front of the other, and above all...
Being tall?
That's right. Now, would you try it again, please? Well, that's a little better, but couldn't you try to be more graceful? Glide like this.
Your legs are longer than mine.
Yes. I want you to practice at home. Try walking around with some books on your head. If they keep falling off, then you're not gliding. You may be seated, please.
Thank you.
Well, I think that's enough for today. Now, girls, remember, speak softly and clearly. Move gracefully and glidingly, and don't forget the Mona Lisa smile.
Mrs. Selby?
Yes?
I wasn't here for the Mona Lisa smile bit.
Well, it's the smile that gives a woman mystery and makes her irresistible to men. I'm sure you've seen pictures of the painting.
Oh, yeah.
What did you say?
Yeah.
Let me see that Mona Lisa smile. Class dismissed.
I don't see how walking around like a Zulu is going to help you. Oh, you'd be surprised. Mrs. Selby works on the whole woman. Walking. Talking. Hello out there. I'm beginning to feel taller already. I wonder. Your head is coming to a point. Oh, I'll remember that, cousin, when I'm strong enough to defend myself. Patty, you know I didn't mean it like that. It's just that you're taking all this so seriously. Oh, sure, it's only my life. Why, you can afford to be smug. You're an 85. I'm only a 10. I see. Now, if you'll excuse me, I shall return to work.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. today. Girls, I have some wonderful news for you. This is Mr. Pell, the famous commercial photographer. Patty, please sit down. Mr. Pell is here to select a few photographic models for the new advertising campaign he's doing.
Thank you, Mrs. Selby. I'll be able to use 3 models this time, but I may be calling on you again next week. Now, let me see. You, miss. And you, please. And you.
Would you pass the stew, please?
Oh, do you like it?
No, I'm just hungry.
What? The soap?
The salt. Does your throat hurt?
No, of course not. Ladies, speak softly.
I'll bet they don't get much salt.
Patty thinks she's gonna be a model. Why don't you mind your own business? You are my business. I'm dedicating the rest of my life to making you miserable.
That may not be very long, brother dear.
All right, children. This is a dinner table, not a battlefield. You really interested in being a model?
No. I'm going to this school for personal reasons.
Do you remember Sue Dudash?
Sure. That chubby little kid who used to live next door?
She's not a chubby little kid anymore. I ran into her this morning at the market. She's one of New York's top models now.
Sue Dudash?
Only she's changed her name. Now she's called Dee Dee Dudash.
I've seen her pictures. She does bathing suit ads. She must be the one I've seen in soap ads and automobile ads and ads. Her face must be on every billboard in the country. Imagine being that famous for just sitting around posing.
I'll bet she's rich, too. How much do models make?
I don't know.
Top models can make around $100 an hour.
$100 an... No, Patty. Will you quit that?
What did she do?
She's reading my mind again.
And so remember, girls, harmony is the key note. A serene mind produces a serene body. Mr. Pell, how nice to see you.
I'm sorry I'm late.
Well, that's perfectly all right. Girls, you all remember Mr. Pell? He's here to select some more models.
Yes. I'll need 3 girls today for one of our most important clients. Now, let me see. You, miss. And, you, please. One more. You. What did you say?
Yippee.
And then he pointed to me and said you. It was a finger of fate.
Are you really going to be on the billboards, Patty?
Yes, Richard. Wherever you look, there'll be me. That sounds terribly exciting.
Is this a definite offer, Patty?
Yes, and it isn't just for one ad. Mr. Pell says he wants me to star in a whole series of them. I'm going to be a one-woman campaign.
I think it's marvelous.
My face will belong to the ages.
It already looks it.
Patty, you're going to be kind of busy from now on, aren't you?
I'll never be too busy for any of my old friends, Richard.
I'm sure they'll appreciate it.
I suppose it will be embarrassing to go to theaters and restaurants and be recognized by everyone. But then again, I guess I'll learn to live with it. That's the price one must pay for fame.
I think I'd wait until I was famous before I started paying the price.
Talking about that, how much are they going to pay you?
Well, I start at $10 an hour, but I'll work my way up, don't worry.
You mean they're gonna pay you $10 an hour to just sit there?
To sit there and be me.
Can you get me a job?
I'll find out if they have any horror pictures coming up.
Well, it does seem like an awfully easy way to make money. Just sit there and have someone take your picture.
Other people's jobs always look easy to an outsider. I'll bet it's not quite the gravy train it sounds.
Well, as a working model, Papo, I think that I know a little more about it than you do. All one has to do is to sit there and look glamorous.
Smile.
Wait a minute!
Now smile. Now smile. Hold it quiet, everybody. Smile.
1, 2, 3,
Is that you, Patty?
Yes, Mom.
Hi, honey.
Hi. It's 9 o'clock and you've already made $30.
Yeah.
How did it go?
Okay. You know how it is.
No, we don't. But we're really interested. It must be quite a feeling to just sit around for 3 hours and collect $30.
Yeah, it must be. I mean, it is. I can't wait for the billboards to come out.
Will you be in magazines, too?
I'll be everywhere. Wherever you look, you'll see me. I think that's wonderful, Patty. I was very wrong about this. I thought you were going to get into trouble.
Yeah. Looks like this little adventure turned out pretty well, huh?
If you want to sign some autographs, I've already got 6 customers for them.
I don't think so.
We can get a quarter apiece. That's 13 cents for me and 12 for you.
No.
13 cents for you and 12 for me?
Nothing for me. You haven't got a celebrity for a sister. You've got a laughing stock.
What are you talking about?
Jinx Lane. The joke of Madison Avenue. Didn't you pose for the pictures, Patty? Sure. When I wasn't too busy dodging. Have you ever had a cream pie thrown in your face? Or seltzer squirted at you?
Is that what they did to you?
I'm not a model. I'm a target.
Oh, darling.
I can never show my face in school again.
Of course you can.
Not after those pictures come out. You don't know how silly I looked.
And I don't care. Look at it this way, Patty. Those advertising people wanted to illustrate a point. And they chose you because you were more suitable for their advertisements than anyone else. You were hired to do a job, and you did it.
You think so?
Of course. Well, it didn't turn out quite the way you hoped, but, well, things have a way of taking funny bounces in life when you least expect it.
I guess I was too interested in the glamour part of it.
Well, then you've learned something.
I sure have. I'm not glamorous. I'm nobody. I flunked teenage. Do you know what I got in that test? 10. I'm a nothing. Big fat 0. Oh, here you are. Yes, here we are.
Why'd you run away from us?
Wasn't running. Just walking fast. Didn't you hear us call you as you passed the malt shop? I guess I didn't feel much like a malt. Because of this. You saw them.
Sure. Everybody's talking about them.
Yeah, I'll bet they are.
I think it's great.
You do? So do I. Look. I think it's a very effective campaign. I guess it is. Patty, you've made a great contribution to the American educational system. 'Cause I love you.
Yeah, Patty, you're quite a girl. What are you doing tonight?
Rich, do you know what I'm gonna let you do? I'm gonna let you buy me a malt.
It's a deal.
Coming, Cat? Just as soon as I finish this test. It looks very interesting. Let's see, maybe I can help you. Oh, no. Let's go.
Here's Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square.
But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair, but they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh alike,
They walk alike,
at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind.